Daniel chapter 5, Belshazzar's impious feast. Now, before I start, there is Belteshazzar. That's the nickname that King Nebuchadnezzar gave unto Daniel. So there's Belteshazzar, and then there's Belshazzar. Belshazzar is the king of the Chaldeans. So there's a difference. The names might sound similar, but there's Belshazzar, that's the king of the Chaldeans, and Belteshazzar, that's the nickname that Nebuchadnezzar gave Daniel. So we're starting with chapter 5 of Daniel, Belshazzar's impious feast. Belshazzar the king made a feast to 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, whilst he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of the Most High of Israel, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines drank in them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and of silver, of brass, of iron, and wood, and of stone. Now, as you know, this again is the king of the Chaldeans, aka a Gentile. You know what I'm saying? Because we know as Israelites, we don't worship gods of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone. The Most High Power of Israel forbids that. He forbade that according to the law of Moses. You know what I'm saying? The handwriting on the wall. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosened, and his knees smote one against another. Dang, he was going through it. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake, and said to the wise men of Babylon, Whosoever shall read the writing, and show me the interpretation thereof, shall be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished. The end of Babylon. Now the queen, and before I continue verse 10, we all know, Israelites, that we don't have queens. There is no queen in the kingdom. It's only kings. There's princesses, but there's no queen. It's only kings, princes, and princesses, but no queen. Let's get that straight. Let's get that to the point, because there's a lot of Gentile nations that have kings and queens, but us as Israel, we don't have queens. We only have kings. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get that known right now. When you hear verse 10 that there's a queen, this is the queen of the Chaldeans. You know what I'm saying? Because Belshazzar, he's the king of the Chaldeans, but this is his queen. Genesis 2 verse 18. And the Most High Power said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him. Scrolling down a little bit, the next title is The Most High Power creates woman as a helper for the man. Not as a dominion force over the man, but as a helper for the man. The Holy Spirit is a feminine energy. What was it made for? It was made to assist the Most High Power, which is all power. Eve came out of Adam. What was Eve's purpose? To assist Adam in the creation of all. What is woman's purpose for man? To help man. You know what I'm saying? Her beauty was made for man. When she doesn't find a man, her beauty gets taken away from her because that's her whole purpose. Her beauty was the overall reflection of the man, of what the Most High Power created, of his overall perfect work. You know what I'm saying? Her beauty is the reflection of that. You know what I'm saying? And her beauty was meant for one man and one man only. You know what I'm saying? When that one righteous woman meets that one righteous man, her beauty never fades. You know what I'm saying? It gracefully ages with her age. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go from just like beautiful to crypt keeper overnight. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when a woman doesn't have a man or can't find a man within that youthful stage. That's why it's so important for a woman to find her one man. But hey, in this society we live in nowadays, a woman finding one man, that's like giving candy to a baby. Cause it just ain't finna happen. Society, this Babylonian system, has made it okay for women to have more than one man, you know what I'm saying, according to the Babylonian system. But according to the Most High system, it was only meant for a woman to have one man. Continuing. The end of Babylon. Now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house. And the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar thy father, the king, I say, thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers, for as much as an excellent spirit in knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, and showing of hard sentences, and dissolving of doubts, were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show the interpretation. Then was Daniel brought in before the king. And the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou that Daniel, which art of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jewry? I have even heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing, and make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But they could not show the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard of thee, that thou canst make interpretations, and dissolve doubts. Now if thou canst read the writing, and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. So this right here, y'all, is starting to sound just like Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember Joseph at the end of Genesis? You know what I'm saying? He was the second highest ruler in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Right below the Pharaoh. And this sounds like the same thing right here. You know what I'm saying? Because Belshazzar, he's trying to make Belteshazzar, aka Daniel, to be the third ruler in the kingdom. So let me repeat verse 16. And I have heard of thee, that thou canst make interpretations and dissolve doubts. Now if thou canst read the writing, and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shall be third ruler in the kingdom. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another, yet I will read the writings unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. Ooh, that was so smooth, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Forefather Daniel said, look, listen, keep your gifts. I don't need your gifts. You know what I'm saying? The Most High blesses me with gifts enough. All I'm going to do is, I'm still going to keep it 100 with you. And I'm still going to reveal unto you your dream, but I'm going to do it free of charge. But hold on to your gifts, though. Whew, all praise. Let me repeat verse 17. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another, yet I will read the writings unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the most high power of Israel gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, and majesty, and glory, and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, whom he would he slew, and whom he would he keep alive, and whom he would he set up, and whom he would he put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beast, and his dwellings was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the most high power of Israel ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointed over it whomsoever he will. And this, thou son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against the Most High of heaven. And they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou, and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drunk wine in them, and thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know, and the power of Israel, in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written: Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, the Most High Power hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting. Peres, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Father, I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? Because even though Daniel said, hey, keep your gifts, they forced that chain up on Daniel's neck. You know what I'm saying? They forced that scarlet up on the shoulders of Daniel. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because he was a favorite Israelite from the Most High Power of Israel. Let's start at verse 29 again. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar the king of the Chaldeans slain. And Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, the precious Holy Spirit, Abraham, Isaac, and all of Israel. Father, I am that I am, and his only begotten Son, the Son of Man, the Redeemer, the Christ, the unblemished Lamb that's going to crack that sky with that dark bronze skin and that woolly hair. You know what I'm saying? And for his precious Holy Spirit, the one that's the comforter in these trying times, aka spiritual Jacob's trouble. Hey, Israel, keep your head up and your faith strong. Aman, shalom, and so be it.